begin. Our speaker today is Miranda Austin. She is a Northampton Community College student. Her new concept of indoor growing is her startup idea. Miranda's focus is on discovering efficient growing systems, experimenting with basic prototypes of her concept. And with that, I welcome Miranda. Thank you so much. Again, she was the last minute. She helped us out by agreeing to present today. Take your time, Miranda.
Okay. So hi, everyone. Yes, so I said my voice is going today. I'm fine. It's just a little head cold. Here I have products that I want to create and distribute and manufacture and distribute involving home projects. It's aquaponics, hydroponic systems that I can create through AutoCAD with the design and create either at home or in development like the Fab Lab, wherever. Hopefully someday to have my own shop where I can build these things and distribute them by shipping and handling, and also offer installations in home. It's hydroponics and aquaponics systems, but we also would be offering woodwork with like DIY type projects that would be like decor in your home, and also as propagation systems, which involves plants being in water just to, instead of having soil. Okay, so they would be rooting into the water and getting the nutrients they need through fish and water rather than the soil. So that is one of the main projects that I worked on for the 10-week boot camp that I took part in through Northampton Community College just a few weeks ago and did a final presentation pitch on. The business that I want to create and get advice from you all from is about doing indoor, outdoor, home and gardening services that involve these unique ideas that would be eco-friendly. So I would like to envision having a store that is eco-friendly solutions where people can come to me and ask me how they can do propagation systems, how they can build a livestock system in their backyard for our future when we have to eat for protein. We could have fish hatcheries that we can build. We would have chicken coops, rabbit hutches. All of these things are a part of our ecosystem that we need to learn about for our future. And I think it would be an educational and a good experience for people to learn how they can build these things from home, or have us build it custom made for them and install them, or have the things made for them and send them online, shipping and handling, whatever products we can make to send them out to them. Does that make an okay thought there? I envision having just a few workers to help me to produce that. And we just need the space, like a warehouse or a workshop, something that has electric and running water, more than what I have available in my home. We have gone as far as trying to rent out storefronts locally, and we just can't seem to land anything. So I've even come up with, it sounds bizarre, I've even come up with a thought of creating mobile businesses of enclosed trailers where we can take our business on the go to display these things as well, kind of like a produce carts, a place that I can take them to, like craft shows, flea markets. I can take these items with me on the road and sell them. And we've even gotten as far as creating a prototype enclosed trailer, custom made, to show these products. So that's even another item that we could possibly put out there that we can custom work and do. We're just looking for the right time and place to start this business and the funding to come in. I'm currently on unemployment due to COVID. So I went back to school with my CAD so that I can learn new skills and add to the skills I have to try to open my own business in the next year. That's the goal. So I'm just preparing. I'm here to just talk about what my ideas are and get some feedback from you guys. I'm sorry if it wasn't prepared much better with a PowerPoint presentation right now. I did work on it, but it wasn't fully finished by the time I could get to today.
No, please don't even concern yourself about that.
Okay.
Do you have any samples of your hydro?
I do. It's not. You know what? I can share my screen
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yeah.
And then what we can do is I'll show you the pictures that I do have of.
Oh,
what
perfect.
Okay. Let me see. This should work. Can everybody see what I'm doing, or?
We don't, okay, something's coming up now.
Yeah, we see your screen. There we go.
There we go. Yes, now we see it.
All right, this was the prior presentation slideshow that I did, so I'm just going to use a portion of this to show you guys. Okay, can everyone see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this was my 30-inch propagation system called the Aquamer that I first came up with. This is a 5 divider section with running water and air stones that are giving it added nutrients through oxygen to the plant roots. And the fish down here you can see in the right-hand corner is feeding off of those roots, so you don't really have to do much with that. That's an ecology system. It's aquaponics, aquaculturing. So the fish is feeding off of the roots, and the plants are growing healthy because the fish is also excreting and making a water that's fertilized, and the plant doesn't need to be fed or have any chemicals added to it. The box on the left-hand bottom is the type of woodwork that we do. We are using wood that is left over, donated wherever we can get that's reusable, recycled wood, and literally cutting it down with a table saw, whatever we can do. And that's our base there. So those are the types of things that we create. I'm going to show you another picture here of what I do. Here are betta fish bases. I have like 50 of these around my house, and I sell them as a yard sale item or at flea markets. People are getting to know me a little bit with this. These are just lilies in vases with betta fish. You can use small koi, guppies, things like that. I'm going to show you some other items. It should be. Can everyone see this screen where you can see the woodwork decor on the walls? These are small items that I could create and ship, and I do have some of these. It's simple DIY type projects that we make and can send out, but we can also start a website where people can come and watch us as a DIY demonstration, and we'll be showing them a little bit about environmentalism and why it's important to have plants and what you can do in your own home. And every week we'll have a new video. That's what I wanted to do, to try to entice customers to A, purchase, or B, come in and watch what we have to show, and it would be something fun. We just made actually dog bins for food. It's a bin that almost like a garbage bin that you would pull the door out and you could put your garbage in, but it's for dog food bins. And it turned out really, really cool. I don't have a picture of it right now, but imagine this type of woodwork and that happening. And we were able to sell that product, and it turned out really well. I don't know if anybody can see what I'm putting up here with pictures, but these are stands out of pallets. Okay, pictures, rabbit hutches. People don't realize you can use rabbits for fertilizer with their excretions. And it's no different than cow manure. It's actually better because they are vegetarians and there's no chemicals involved. So when people learn how they can utilize the aquaponic system as the water for fertilizer for their gardens and rabbit, excretion as fertilizer, they learn that livestock and having enclosures and woodwork like this can be done from their own home or installed for them. I hope that explains well enough what we like to do and what we would like to offer.
Wow, that's beautiful. So if you wouldn't mind minimizing your PowerPoint there so that I can see questions that are being populated to ask you.
You
I'm
can
going to
just,
stop sharing there.
there we go.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful. So currently now, you're in the process of starting this business, correct?
I'm trying. Financially, I'm not there. I have gathered many materials and some supplies throughout the stimulus checks and things like that. I have I have a laser printer that I purchased that I was going to add as an incentive for customers to maybe engrave on wood benches, garden benches, whatever woodwork we do to make it personalized. Stencils, I've gotten stencils and done a little work with that where we burn the wood with a torch, and it's all natural and rustic looking. So we use the metal stencils where we can put someone's name or a date on there, whatever is important to them. We have purchased the plexiglass, and I have about 5 prototypes right now that are working, and we do use them, but I don't know where to stop, like how to sell them. I'm struggling with some of the advertising or marketing and what to do next.
What inspired you to consider this as a business for yourself?
The honest truth, we were struggling in the middle of the winter and we wanted to start a side business. I was giving away gifts as little plants that were around my house that I couldn't afford to give to anyone. And I just decided to pull the plants apart, reroot them. It's something my grandmother taught me when I was young. And I made little glass bowls. I actually literally got pickle jars, made my kids eat a lot of pickles. And we turned that into a betta fish bowl system and just put stones and decorated it, bow ties, and gave that away as a gift. So we started gift giving that way, and people liked it, and they wanted to know where they were coming from.
How much will it cost you to produce 10 units of your system in the Fab Lab?
I have gone over what I thought the budget would be. It was approximately $120 to $150 per box that I made. Yeah, the plexiglass became expensive, but that's because I was going through a lot of trial and error. So I would say I probably could do it under $80 at this point, since I know exactly what I need to get.
Have you thought about partnering with an established plant business?
Yes, I've been doing research in the meantime, just taking my time to make sure I know what I'm doing. And I found a few companies I want to reach out to, but I wanted to make sure I was ready and I have everything in order. I don't know how to present to someone that I would like to partner with them if they would consider working with me.
I'm looking to see if there are any other questions. So you need help with marketing. I think I'm going to open up the floor. Is there anyone here with any marketing ideas that Miranda can start off with? Jeff, go right ahead. Open up your mic.
Thanks, Tony. Miranda, great idea. I really like it. I think it's a really unique product offering. I was at a nursery where they had a sign for pond plants. And so I had stopped by and looked at some of those. I don't have a pond, but I was just curious to see what they would have in there. So one of my questions is does the plants that will grow in water like this, where the root system will grow, are those specific pond plants, or can you coax other plants that would normally be growing in the ground, for that unique appearance? I saw a number of different plants in your slideshow, but I was just wondering, what can you really coax to grow in water?
Okay. The best way I can explain that is there are home plants. Okay, they would be all year round. Some are perennials that you plant in different times of the season that are going to grow, and they do need dirt. But they're plants that are home plants, or if you're going to do a vegetable type system, you can do indoors. You absolutely don't have to have soil, and you can just use the pond water in the system with the fish. There is a list of plants that you would have to learn or know that will work without anything else. Most plants are able to be year round, but there are some that are just seasonal and they just do better in dirt. So you would have to, talk with somebody with that. They're really lilies, any type of vine. Picture any plant that is a vine that stretches out and it just grows and grows and grows. Anything like that, you do not have to have in soil. That will grow with just water. That's a great pond item, plant item.
Yeah, that's a very unique approach, or product offering. My suggestion for marketing is maybe reach out to real estate stagers where they're looking to complement a room or home with different unique products like this. Might be a good idea, or might be a good entry into the residential marketing.
That's a great idea. Model homes, where they have a model home there and people are walking through.
Okay.
Susan Murray is suggesting that there is a free webinar being given tomorrow through SBDC.
I just got that email. I think go ahead.
Perfect. On Google advertising. Great. So what is the average life of the fish, and do they live entirely on that plant? This is by Matt Henderson.
My favorite are betas. 2 to 4 years for a beta. You barely have to feed them because of the root system. You can do guppies. Guppies do need to be fed a little bit. They just get these little flakes. I am interested now in koi fish, the baby koi. They are super cheap when you buy them as they're young. And if you can grow them into a larger hatchery over time, about a year or two as an adult, they sell for about $150 a piece, koi fish, even more depending on the type. So my honest scalability in this type of business would be not only to grow these or make these products that I design myself and get out there, but also to build livestock that's going to actually make me more money in bulk, So the koi fish, they last for 20 years. I mean, however, they're pretty tough. They're pretty tough. The trick is getting them young and making sure they're healthy up to adulthood, and they're pretty good to go. They're pretty resilient outside, obviously. From there, you have to learn how to winterize your koi ponds and installations like that, and they would be safe.
Okay. Could you offer a maintenance program to your customers that might be a great revenue generator? And this question is by Mortasa.
Yes. I think down the line, once I have an installation person, which would be my fiance. He does all kinds of mason work. He repairs everything in the house. I'm super lucky. He does the woodwork cutting mostly. I can do the table saw and stuff too. But anything that needs maintenance, plumbing wise, I actually have had training not only with like CAD and mechanical engineering understanding, but I've had jobs where I've done some HVAC work and maintenance I worked with medical equipment at one point delivering, and I would go on the road and repair those items. So I myself could repair and offer some maintenance if it needed to be done. And also obviously installations for local areas. If anyone needs any help or, to even transport, we would be able to transport locally. Anything that's shipping and handling, I would just have to have an answering service of some sort to maybe help them from there to troubleshoot if there's an issue for maintenance. That's the best answer I can come up with right now.
With people returning back to the workforce, there's some anxiety about that. 20% of the people that have went home don't want to come back to the workforce. I think this would be a lovely thing to have on every desk or in the entryway of a business. It's calming. I saw the gift, I think it was you, Miranda, that gave to Raja,
Yes.
which was a plant with a fish.
Mhm.
And you left it at the front desk and I so wanted to keep it. I did not want to give this to Raja.
I have so many.
But it's
I figured
a
out that
beautiful
gift giving
concept.
helps.
And maybe marketing to businesses in that way with the idea of you're having your people come back, your employees, why don't you greet them with something very relaxing? I see that Raja has his hand up. Go ahead, Raja.
Good.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. With full disclosure here, so I know of Miranda's ideas, and she was also one of the presenters in our pitch competition. So what you just discussed, Miranda, and and you and I had this conversation before. I think, from my perspective, I would really, focus on one thing that you really want to, market right now, right? And I would really, keep that front and center. So, the prototype that you have been working on, especially the indoor, the growing units, those small, mobile units, I think there is some merit to that. Right now, you just have to figure out, how do I go about, making and selling one at a time is the way I would look at it. And there are several channels that are out there, things like Etsy, and different programs where you don't have to, sell in quantity and in bulk. It's just a matter of making it one at a time. Is what I would, really, keep your focus on, because I think with that particular unit that you have, you may also have some advantage on also doing some custom work, for folks that are looking at, they like your unit, but they want a little bit bigger, right? Or they want it for a specific size, and that's where the money is on the custom side, of this business. So I really would, my advice would be to, kind of like, keep it front and center. And, for our folks that are listening here, I think, Miranda can help in several different areas. And one of the area, along with the Fab Lab is helping her with getting a prototype ready. But one of the, help that she'll need at some point in time for us to figure out her would be, the cost. How do we support her in that? Are there some community resources that she can go after, that will allow her to, let's say, make 10 units, and then sell it. So anyway, so I would really, focus on that particular unit that you have, that you showed us, and just keep on asking, how do I, what do I need to do to move 5 of these, 6 of these, right? Or starting with 1 or 2 a month. So.
Yeah, that's great, Raja. Thank you for that. I had actually been in the time period since we ended the class, trying to find where I'm going to take these and present them or demonstrate them to try to get sales, not just feedback. And the next question for myself is, how do I afford to make more when I'm out? I'm at a max right now financially. I can't afford to make any more. I've done the best that I could. I have signed up for a program that I was going to take for CNC machining to try to be able to learn more about manufacturing. And ironically, they didn't have enough students for that at CIT right now. I was approved for the funding, which was fantastic, but they're not going to be able to run that one at that class. So ironically, throughout that process, I had discovered that at Northampton Community College, they have a manufacturing essentials course coming up for 8 weeks training that I would qualify for funding to do. And that was my next mindset, was focusing on that, because I want to know how to manufacture better. How can I mass produce if it gets to that point? And what other can I use their tools and their location to build more of these? Where am I going to store them? I need to know more about what to do next each step of the way. So I'm proactive about it. I just taking it one step at a time. That class starts July 14th, and I'm just waiting for everything to line up. And in the meantime, I research who else is out there that could help me get things together. I talked to a Lehigh Valley SCORE mentor that I have. We try to get a plan together. We talk every week to update each other. I need to get a web page together. How is this going to affect my unemployment if I start and open a business with an actual state registered ID? So there's a lot I have to figure out with timing. I may have to find work soon, like real work, part-time, to hold me over and to be able to get a business loan at some point, or find a partner who's willing to help me.
So Garish is asking, and I think you've answered this, do you have a website? I think you said you're working on that. Okay. And then he says, e-commerce may be the way to go without the expense of a brick and mortar platforms. And again, he states Etsy, Instagram, Facebook would be obvious choices. Another comment, question, I should say, what about on consignment in a shop?
I've been doing that already.
Okay.
I have two thrift stores that we've put some items out, not the fish, not the aqua boxes, but some other items we've been trying to sell that are similar. And I go to the thrift stores often to get some of those materials. For the beta vases, I get a box of them for $20, of beautiful vases and jars. But back to that, I have gone to the indoor flea market in Wing Gap and have trialed out a 30 days with the display that I had set up. I had paid $250 to go in there for the month on weekends. But unfortunately, it was during the winter with COVID, and they were reconstructing the place. I didn't get many customers for the time and effort I put in. So I couldn't find enough, sales to make that worth it. Flea markets, I think, would be great if I had, like I said, an enclosed trailer or a cart or something to protect them, temperature wise out on a hot day. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that and make something like a produce cart to take, like a utility trailer, to take these items out on the road and start showing them in places where people are really going to want them.
And consider putting them or selling them to hair salons, nail salons, us women, and then putting that these are a little card that these are available for sale, because women love that kind of stuff. There's a question, and I'll get to you, Jeff, in a second. How much will you sell a unit for at retail if someone is interested?
150. 150.
Okay.
For the units, for the propagation 5 system unit. The beta vases and things that I make from using the propagation plants, because I'm recreating plants for free, and fish.
Right.
I can breed the fish. And I sell them at like $45 a piece. And I have actually thought, I wanted to throw this out there, of, how the school districts do biology classes where they're going to show things and present and demonstrate. I wanted to try to target the schools to purchase something like this and support it for that purpose. And also, I just thought it was a great idea that they sell candy bars for fundraisers. They sell, other items that, not cookies, I don't know. whatever else that they sell to fund. And they're always looking for new ideas with the PTA. How fun would that be if everyone bought a plant? And we used to get, on Earth Day, a tree with a little plastic bag that we can take home and plant in our backyard, because we should be. And I just think it would be a great contributional thought, if people utilize the kit as a demonstration tool. That would be awesome in the schools, and also, maybe fundraise with these type of plants. The school district for my children, at the end of the year, I sent in 3 or 4 beta vases, and they have mascot names for them in the office now. So they love them too, and the feedback I'm getting, everybody likes it.
Yeah, another thing, I was at Nazareth Art Festival this weekend. It would have been fantastic if you would have had a table there.
Yes.
I think that's right up the alley. And with that, Nicole asks, consider farmers market. They are your market people too. And I'm on the committee with the food co-op. We're actually planning a block party in July. So offline, I'll get together with you. We'd love to give you a table to showcase your items. And yeah, let me finish her question. These are people who like to grow their own food and into this type of stuff, food markets. And I think, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Gathered plans together for the fall and winter for the Chris Kindle Mart, the everything at the steel stacks. I have a list made. I figured I got to get through the summer. I can do a little bit of displaying. Let me get through the class for the distribution class. And then fall and winter is when I have a list set up and dates organized, ready for events, weekends, the craft shows. That was where my mind was at this point, to try to boost myself for this season. And that was the plan.
Awesome. Jeff, you had a question.
I was wondering, Miranda, I'm going back with the marketing ideas and brainstorming that, and wondering whether you get to the point where you might be partnering with a plant store or greenhouse or something like that, whether you'd consider maybe offering like a class or where people come in and maybe they bring their own material and you teach them how to do a basic thing. And then give you an opportunity to show some of the things that you've done as well. Just to get your name out there and kind of give people an idea about what it's all about, and could grow from there as well.
It's a great marketing strategy, and I love it, and I love to teach as well. So any opportunity I can find where I can demonstrate, I'm all for it. I think everyone should learn a little something, and it's fun for me. And of course, I want to show my product, and not even just for myself, but for people to know, they can start something from home, however big or small project they want to get into. It's important to learn this for our future. So however that helps. I've contacted Albany's, which is a big, growing company in our area out here in Morris Township. And I was going to try to work there part-time actually too. But it's hard for me to know how can I ask somebody to partner with me? I don't know how to present that and ask them if they'll help fund this with me. Like I'm not there yet, I guess, knowing how to present somebody to work with me. But as for getting up and just teaching something, I've been an instructor already in the past, and I enjoy that, and that's not a problem at all. Actually, the first thing they said to me when I came in there is, "Are you a sales rep?" And you just have the demeanor, and I'm like, I could be, but I was here for part-time work possibly, and started talking about my ideas. But I think that he didn't really understand maybe that I'm looking to try to sell my products. Yeah.
Okay, so Nicole has another suggestion. And
Thank
then
you.
this
Cass.
Second Harvest Food Bank. We also oversee the seed farm in Emmaus, which would be a great resource to you.
Yeah.
This is an amazing concept. I first saw vertical indoor gardening in Jackson, Wyoming, and would love to see more of this in the Lehigh Valley. Good luck. So,
Thank you. Yes, vertical towers are my next prototype that I will be working on in my next chapter. This one was horizontal, and now I want to go with vertical.
yeah.
So that is going to be definitely on the rise. That's great. Thank you for that.
And then Stacy Rowan says, maybe find a place that already offers classes similar to what you do and ask to get on their schedule. And I would have to say that is NCC.
Yep.
We have a hydroponic class coming up in July, and I'm actually taking it. It's basically making the container out of wood. So definitely, I think we would be a very good resource to you, and I'm sure Raja has mentioned that. Devin, are you familiar with Mercantile Home in Easton? They have a flower business.
What is it? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Mercantile
Mercantile. No.
Home in Easton. They have a flower business in the Easton Public Market. That would be a great fit for you. They work with local artists and artisans. Now, Miranda, this presentation is being recorded and you
Okay.
will receive a copy. So you'll be able to take everyone's contact information. I'm going to contact you after this to give you some information on the food co-op. We will be opening up next year. I think it would be great for you to be a part of that.
That sounds great. I'm so grateful for the Million Cups. I've always been the one kind of attending in the back row, hoping someday I had enough guts to get up there, knowledge to, give this a shot. And it's really actually quite comfortable sitting back and just talking with you guys. I really appreciate the support and just coming together to give me information. That's really important before I can move it forward or do anything else. I need somebody to tell me, hey, you have too many ideas scattered everywhere. Let's start with this, like Raja is saying, let's focus in on that. Because I have many things. But then, people who are already in business, it's great to just deal with people who have that experience and can give me some knowledge to move forward. Thank you, everyone.
Well, we want to thank you for, again, pitching in here last minute. We know we put you in a hot seat, but you did wonderful. So thank you so much. We're now, unless anyone else has any more questions or comments.
Yeah, there's actually one question that Anthony asked. I think it's a really important question. How much of a customer discovery work have you done? So, what kind of what I think Anthony's meaning is that you've got these units that you're making, but what kind of interest have you gotten out of folks that might be your potential customers? Am I right, Anthony? Is that what?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're building a bunch of prototypes, but I guess I'm wondering if you're building the right thing, what people's interests are, what people's interest is in this hobby or business. That's a very cute kitten. And things like that. Customer discovery work is really important before you build anything. So if you're building sophisticated systems and this hobby is kind of new to a lot of people, it might be worthwhile to kind of build kind of an entry-level kit where where someone can get interested and then step up to something else. But I think that's a lot of groundwork that has to be done before you keep spending money on building prototypes.
Yeah. I agree. some of that I heard. For some reason, my computer cut out and I couldn't hear all of that. But
Sorry.
was there more of a, was there a direct question at all in there?
No, it was more, again, is how much customer discovery work have you done so far? Like,
Mhm.
you know, have you just, you know, I don't know what the interest is, I guess.
Yeah. So the some people, I'm sorry, these cats are driving me nuts. Playing with this. Some people, like my neighbors, as they see what I'm doing, they they kind of question me. I had one of them come up to me and say, "Are you like a mad scientist or something?" I'm always doing something. I go out and I cut the plexiglass with the table saw, and we're out there, you know, sanding it down, and then we have plants everywhere in our windows. And it's funny because I see like my one neighbor went and bought a bunch of stuff, and now her whole front porch is done with new plants, and I can see some stuff in her window. And you know, I offered and gave her then, you know, one of the betas vases, and explained to her what I was doing, and she's like, this is really cool. I wish I would have done it sooner. I mean, she cleaned her whole back patio, ready to clear everything out, old furniture, and she wants to build a garden now. So it was fun to inspire people. I think it's a growing market. People know and realize like, hey, maybe we need to really learn some of this, and not just the hobby. And even if so a hobby, it's a good one.
So you've gotten some really good advice. Focus, just to summarize, focus maybe on one item for now. I think Anthony is right. Know your customer, find out what they want, and maybe a starter kit would be the way to go in the beginning.
Yeah.
And the food bank for seeds, and the mercantile home in Easton for possibly displaying some of your plants with betta fish, and long term getting you into the food co-op as a merchant. That would be really nice.
That'd be great.
Anyone else?
Tony, and we're going to be going into a where people can make announcements.
Yes.
It's important that you put all your contact information as it is today. I think there's a lot of interest. A lot of people have some good ideas. As Tony said, this is being recorded, and not only for the people that attended today, but next week when our next presenter comes out, they're going to put in the link for this. So a lot of other people that attend 1 Million Cups and can't be there every week will view it. So it's important that you have some good contact information, because the chat feature is also a part of that video that we send out. So I really appreciate you coming. It's great that you have all these great ideas, and I think a lot of people's minds are even thinking about how they can purchase stuff from you.